Ainsley, good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on to talk about this. It's remarkable. Big tech, social media companies censoring people because of pressure from the Biden administration. Do you feel vindicated now that they're admitting this?
Well, I do feel vindicated. Jim Jordan has been doing a lot of work on this for a long time, and he's gotten documents out, but it's really nice to see Google come out and admit this. As you know, some of your viewers may know, in 2021, I sued Twitter and forced them to let me back on the platform before Elon Musk bought it. So that was a small win for free speech. But right now, yes, I'm in the middle of suing the Biden administration, which obviously is not in power anymore, over what they did to force Twitter to lock me out, to suspend my account in 2021. And I'm glad to see this admission. My case is sort of in an interesting moment because the Trump administration really has to decide if they want to defend the Biden administration's censorship going forward. Obviously, I'm hoping they're not going to do that.
Well, Alex, this is what Google sent to the House Judiciary Committee, that Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube's policies. Public debate should never come at the expense of relying authorities. The company will never use third-party fact checkers. So why now? Why are we hearing about this years later, Alex?
Well, it's a great letter, and we're hearing about it because of pressure from the House Republicans and Jim Jordan, who very aggressively went after Google, went after Meta/Facebook, would have gone after Twitter had the old regime been in place, and forced them to turn over these documents. And then Elon, of course, bought Twitter, renamed it X, but opened the files and showed that censorship too. And all of that plays a role in my case.
Well, here we are again, and I have to laugh. This came out last week, and pretty much almost all of us had said that this was what was going on. People pushed it aside. No, you don't know what you're talking about. They couldn't be doing this, to the situation with all the bullshit that was happening under the banner of YouTube itself through Google. And, I don't know how much of, I know my channel specifically has been held back. I know that for a fact. Because I've used every bell and whistle legally that I could use as far as trying to promote, change of thumbnails, the taglines, try to push it under social media, my social media accounts and stuff like that. And, and what everyone has suggested, I've gotten to the point, next to hiring somebody to assist me, which I'd rather not do that because that takes most of this people that involve themselves with this, you end up losing your channel to them. Because I will not, sell out to these on there. I do the job myself, and I've been doing this for a long time. This is not something new. I've done this before. I've been on public access television. I've been on, internet. I've done Justin TV. I've done a lot of stuff that I've done in the past that has worked. Not to the point where it's like, millions and millions and millions of viewers, but a good chunk of viewers where people knew who you are, knew your name, that basically they gone down the line and says, hey, I loved your show, or hey, I hated your show. You knew that portions were always the situation. But now, and we heard from Tim Pool and we heard from a lot of others, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents to the situation. Google has sent out a letter through their legal office that they're admitting that they censorship under the Biden administration pushed Google to censor certain channels.
I fucking knew it!
certain content creators, some of them that got banned during this administration, during COVID, during other situations on there. Right now, you got Tim Pool screaming back that he wants the shows that were yanked, especially stuff with Alex Jones and many other things that basically wasn't, that wouldn't fall in the category of being banned, to be reinstated on his channel, especially the stuff from Tenet Media. And that's the other thing, Tenet Media, and how all that was a lie, and now they got to rebuild from that. Oh, I'm just waiting for the first lawsuit to be filed on that. But before we start, I just want to take a moment, and I'll tell you, those of you who are either listening or watching this show, be sure, drop a comment, a like, share, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's very important. You already see what, proof in the pudding. What you're going to see today is basically, that there is censorship on YouTube. There is pure censorship on YouTube to one side of the conversation. It's not one opinion. It's multiple. Everyone can have their own opinion, right, left, up, down. To the point that debating ourselves is a good thing, not a bad thing. Questioning certain policies, certain, say, medications, certain things that have happened should not be made illegal. There isn't, according to the Constitution, there is no hate speech according to the Constitution. And according to SCOTUS as well. It's freedom of speech to that point. And that's why it's important that you guys out there that are watching, and I know those of you, lately I've seen in the analytics, Australia's watching, United Kingdom is watching on there. Continue to watch. Use VPNs if you have to get to us. Because basically we want you here. We do want you here. Whether you agree with my opinion or not, we do want you here. This is the reason why, this is the exact reason why Charlie Kirk was murdered. He was assassinated because he was able to push out debate. This is what he was doing, debating everybody. He wasn't afraid to debate anybody. He was always right on target. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It was a beautiful revival over the last weekend, that last Sunday on there in Arizona. It's very beautiful. So hit that subscribe. We really do appreciate it. So this has been coming out in a couple of small outlets. By the time this video hits, it'll probably be in a wider perspective. I don't expect the networks to pick this up. Basically they don't want to admit to it. But I'm going to give you pieces to it, and I'm going to put in the description below, I'm going to put this, the paperwork, the electronic mail that was sent to Jim Jordan concerning this. But overall, and I'm going to read this off from the House Judiciary, GOP. Google admits censorship under Biden, promises to end bans of YouTube accounts of thousands of Americans censoring for political speech. Today, thanks to the oversight Chairman Jim Jordan, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations on the topics such as COVID-19 and elections and an opportunity to return to the platform. Google has also admitted to the following of the House Judiciary Committee. The Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube policies. The Biden administration's censor pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Public debate should never come at the expense of relying authorities. The company will never use third-party fact checkers. Europe's censorship laws targeting American companies and threatening American speech, including the removal of lawful content. These major omissions come after Chairman Jordan's subpoena to Google and years-long investigation into the company. And looking into the letter, that was sent, and I'm going to put a piece of it here on, let's see, where is it? It's numbers down to number 7. The COVID-19 pandemic was unprecedented time in which online platforms had real decisions about how to balance freedom of expression with responsibility, including the responsibility with the respect to the moderation of user-generated content that could result in real-world harm. Senior Biden administration officials, including White House officials, conducted repeated and sustained outreach to Alphabet and pressured the company regarding certain user-generated content related to COVID-19 pandemic that did not violate its policies. Whilst the company continued to develop and enforce its policies independently, Biden administration officials continued to press the company to remove non-violated user-generated content. As online platforms include Alphabet grappled with these decisions, the administration officials, including President Biden, created a political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company moderates its content, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts on First Amendment grounds. I don't think they did enough. I'm sorry, Google, you didn't do enough. You didn't do enough to protect us. I would not be surprised if lawsuits come out of this. And because I know there's a lot of people out there that lost money, that they were basically monetized and they got canceled. Or basically they had their video, like Tim Pool, they had their videos removed by YouTube. Look, YouTube, if you want to stay number one, because right now you are number one streaming, I'm going to admit to that. If you want to stay there and not Netflix overtake you, you need to give us more respect. Whether we're large content creators, mid-range, and even the small content creators. There are a lot of us out there that is giving content out there that people love to watch. And there's more of it out there that is just slowly gaining out there. I mean, my levels the numbers are starting to move up again. Now, I do say the summer is a little slow, but my pickup range hasn't even kicked into high gear yet. So I'm wondering what is going on. I'm talking about the standard things that are going on daily onto there, whether it's New York, whether it's the adult industry, whether it's censorship, age verification, stuff that normally everybody else is covering, except for a couple stories here and there. And those stories are the ones that do better because it's stuff that most people are not covering. I do get that every once in a while. But, it's... how can it just upsets me. It really angers me. Angers to that point. And we are to the point here that we haven't reached our end. We're going to continue to work here. We're also on Rumble as well. For those of you listening or watching in on Rumble, do the same and interact with our channel. We really do appreciate, we're growing there slowly, but, obviously, we arrived there a little late to the site, and we're just working hard to move up in the algorithm. At least we're monetized there, which is a good thing. We're in our 8th season. We've been fighting strong to keep us alive and going. And same thing with every other content creator in this business. Now, like I said, I always toot my horn that I've been in this business a long time. We have been, those of us who are from the original content creators before the internet, we were fighting the good fight long before this. And I'll tell you, it's the same bullshit every time. We create a good show, and then suddenly someone wants to censor it, or someone makes a complaint that basically they just don't like what we're talking about, and they come questioning, what are you doing wrong to the situation? Have you not watched our show? Have you not? It's amazing sometimes. It's amazing how, that YouTube is still running at this point. Because, that it's still getting a lot of views. I look at to the point, lately, we've been, we've touched base with Culture Casino, Sci-Fi for Me, Sci-Fi Snobs channel. We're starting doing live feeds. And I noticed, my watch hours are not moving at all. And it's taking longer to show up on the system, which is another question I have on that. It used to take about 2-3 days before. Now it's like saying, it's taking over a week. Why? You're looking at who's on there? Who's clicking on my channel? It's getting ridiculous to that point. But we're not going anywhere. Because if we leave, we've bent the knee and we're gone. No, we're not doing that. They're going to have to shut me down completely. Put this channel into the grave before I leave. And even if they shut me down, I will still be over on Rumble, still producing. So those of you on the YouTube side, take a moment, flip over to Rumble and give a subscribe there just in case. And while you're at it, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts about this. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like, all that fun stuff on there. Also, remember, if you want to take the next step further, and you have no obligation to do it, but, it's something that to the point where, stuff like that, when we produce these shows, it does cost us. And we're giving you the advantage to basically be a part of it if you want to help support it. It's almost sounding like a PBS marketing. But we do have a merch shop. We got some censorship shirts, some great censorship shirts out there. Show, the anti-censorship. They basically show your wear onto there because, they're after anime, they're after manga. You got a new law coming out. We have a video on that. Michigan is about to propose a bill that's, put a kibosh on a lot of stuff, and you can end up going to jail for 25 years if you're arrested for it. So it goes to show you what's going on. So remember, comment, like, share, subscribe, and do check out all of our other videos here on CutiCast TV, Madman with the Show. Otaku Thursday returning back first week of October. I think that's the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, the 1st or 2nd on there. So do check it out. We'll be returning back on there. We're trying to find out what day. We haven't decided the day to do live streams on. Right now we had Thursday the last couple of weeks. Well, we're going to shuffle it around a little bit and see what happens. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Check out Sci-Fi Snobs channel, Babylon 5 retrospective this week. I believe I'm on this week. I'm not certain. I think I am on this week. So do check it out. Sci-Fi for Me, do subscribe to his channel so you'll be able to be notified when he goes live on his podcast on there. Also, don't forget to check out Culture Casino. Do subscribe to him as well. He has daily videos, live streams, and all that. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.